You are now entering the Dark Knight Podcast.
Danger.
The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3 according to USC.
Is it really? That's reassuring.
USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health came up with a study. They found that there's 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 442,000 people who were infected.
Really?
Yeah.
So that makes it 0.1 to 0.3? There's a study to give out with, or?
Yeah, just give it to them. So it suggests that the case fatality rate is 10.
Wow.
Which puts you right in line with the flu.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
So it was a hoax.
I don't think it was a hoax.
Surgeon General came out and said that basically the Gates model, the Fauci model, the World Health Organization model was not going to be followed anymore, and they were going to look at the actual data, the actual numbers. The mainstream media didn't respond at all. All they said was, it seems like we're going to be going to 2022 before people can assemble together. That's what ABC put out. And Fox, or was it New York Post put out, it seems like that the 6 feet of social distancing is not going to be sufficient. It needs to go to 13 feet. There is no virus, bacteria that jumps 13 feet. It's just, it defies every logical aspect of science and medicine. And what really, really pisses me off is that there's thousands, tens of thousands of doctors and scientists out there that know that this is a fraud, and they're not saying anything. Either one, they're scared of social ostracization because they're going to be called out, or social shaming, or they're afraid of that they're going to lose their license. For God's sake, this is changing the planet, and every scientist and every doctor that knows this to be a facade needs to open their mouth and speak. There is every aspect of science has just been literally picked up, thrown in the toilet, and flushed down. It's like everybody's ignoring it. The fundamental aspects of how the human system works is being ignored. Physiology is being just put in the garbage bin. Every aspect of virology and infectious disease is being ignored. Koch's postulate has been ignored. Every aspect. Then we've got false positives coming from testing that we know is not adequate, and then the testing that they are doing, like the RT-PCR, the real-time polymerase chain reaction testing, that's already been shown. It was actually the guy who developed it in the 1980s, Mullis, said that you cannot use this testing for diagnostic purposes. You have to use it only for the where something has a genomic sequence that's already been identified. You can't use it for diagnosis. Yet they're using it for diagnosis. And when that's not enough to justify the number of deaths that they've created this pandemic for, they're causing doctors and nurses to go back and change the death certificates to say COVID-19 is the first cause of death. And if that's not enough, now their mandate's being sent to every state, every doctor from every state medical board saying that there's no necessity to test. I got a letter like this myself. If they have symptoms, send them home. And then the mandate of listing the cause of death is COVID-19. The media propagating footage of hospitals and from one country to another country using the same footage, people, the same person dying multiple times, use of mannequins to show that the people are dying, and yet they can't even show ambulances.
This is the main hospital in Bergamo in Lombardy province. It's one of the most advanced hospitals in Europe. But it's the most hard hit of all the hospitals in Italy.
Not only with cameras, but high-tech sensors that can help determine if people are sick. We've already seen police use helmets in China to detect fevers. Similar technology, but up in the air.
So we could see this soon in a community across the country.
You'll be seeing this very soon.
And Cameron Chell, the CEO of one of the oldest commercial drone companies, says they're deploying pilot drone programs across the country this month, including one in the tri-state area.
Where it's most critically needed is where we're going.
If they follow local and federal regulations, the drones can be used just about anywhere, as long as they hover within 20 stories of where people are on the ground. So the cameras and sensors can pick up real-time information.
What these cameras can do is actually detect fever, which is very different than detecting just temperature. They can detect coughing, sneezing. They can detect your heart rate, your respiratory rate.
Offering employees microchips to replace ID badges. It's hosting a chip day party to implant the devices in the employees, and our guy Ron Mott is at the party. Hey Ron, how is it?
Hey Hoda and Matt, good morning to you both. You know, we all know people complain that their companies treat them like machines. Well, 3 Square Market is sticking it to their folks today using these needles. Now let me show you first what this microchip looks like. It is about the size of a grain of basmati rice. So Patrick here is the CIO. Andy is a licensed body piercer, so let it rip. We're going to see this now.
I got it.
I can't look. I can't look. Needle is in. Chip is in.
Bingo.
Not very much blood at all. Patrick, how'd that feel?
Better than get my wisdom teeth out.
Okay, and you're still conscious.
Yeah, I'm great.
Melissa got chipped yesterday, but you had to be talked into doing this. How long did it take you to say yes to this?
I was a little hesitant at first, but I had 7 days to think about it, and once I learned the facts, there was no question in my mind.
Okay, one last thing we want to show you over here, Hoda and Matt. Go ahead, Steve. They can buy their goodies here in the break room by just using their hand. Real quickly, he's going to get a Kit Kat bar. And it's paid for $1.06, guys. So the question again, as we asked you last week, are you ready to be chipped, guys? Let's send it back to you.
Wow. I'm kind of I don't know that I would do it.
No?
Would you do it?
I don't. For the convenience of it,
Yeah.
maybe?
Maybe?
Yeah. I don't know.
Not for a Kit Kat bar.
Maybe for a Mercedes.
Maybe for a Klondike.
Yeah, exactly.
Certainly not a Kit Kat.